Yeah. I mean, I think the principle of sufficient reason is one of those things. There's certain principles that sort of have a long history before anyone articulates them. It's like operating sort of under the hood. Like I said,
Mm.
I think of the principle of sufficient reason as kind of the seed intuition behind explanation. Like anybody who engages in philosophy believes in the principle of sufficient reason, from my perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say, just as a supplementary characterization for a deductive or analytical truth, I usually think of that, and this is how I would unpack a tautology as well. Tautology literally means to say again, which, that's kind of what you're alluding to, but I usually think of an analytical truth, which is in that sense deductive, as something where the predicate is already contained in the meaning of the subject, basically. So when you state an analytic truth, what you're doing is you're just unpacking what's already implicit in the concept.
Right. And in some way, you're doing that with a tautology too. And like, for example, you could say 1 + 1 = 2, because 2 is inherently the same as 1 + 1.
Yes. Yeah. No. That's it. And actually, this is one of the puzzles I like to pose people when I'm sort of evaluating their epistemology, is sort of asking them, why does sort of 2 + 2 = 4? And many people surprisingly can't give you an answer. I mean, in retrospect, once you hear the answer, it's so obvious, and it's just what you said, like it's true by definition. 2 + 2 just means the same thing as 4. But yeah.
Yeah, and there's some interesting examples of, I think, isomorphism, which is slightly different to tautology because it's like restating the same thing in a different way or capturing the same knowledge from a different perspective. And an example I like for that is the Fourier transform, which is used in signal processing. So you're receiving, say, a signal for your television. I mean, this is an old example. I don't know why I need to update these examples, but let's say your TV is receiving signals, broadcast signals, and the signals get converted into color and sound on your screen. And that transformation of signal to space-time representation is captured in the Fourier transform. Like the signals and this thing on your screen are the same thing, but represented in two different ways.